Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Mats, the Tongue of the Gods from Brothers of Metal. How you doing today, Mats?
All good. Just came home from work. Bit tired. Long work day, but otherwise all good.
That's right. You're over in Sweden, right? So you're about 6 hours ahead of us, correct? I'm in the States.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m. here.
Yeah, I'm at noontime here.
Nice.
New album, Endless Saga, out on AFM Records, your second release, follow-up to 2018's Prophecy of Ragnarok. Great stuff, Mats.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're just coming off a tour with Elvin King, correct?
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to interview Domna last fall for when their album came out. That must have been a fabulous tour.
Yeah, we had loads of fun, and the guys in Elvin King were great. No trouble on the tour bus whatsoever. We had a really good time together.
Cool. I read about how Brothers of Metal came together. You're 8 friends out there having fun. You've sort of known each other since school time, and have just sort of let it roll as you've gone along. It must be pretty rewarding to start from sort of humble beginnings to up where you are now with this worldwide adulation that you have.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like we started out more or less like a joke. So basically, when we party, we usually don't go to clubs or so. We go home to one of us that have a home studio, and we record music. So it could be any genre or style. Like we have done everything from like smooth jazz to hip hop and blast beat metal, basically everything. And this night we set the theme for the music. Let's make a song that Manowar would be proud of. And we did Son of Odin.
Right.
And at the time, 4 of the guys were playing in another band, a melodic death metal band called Temporary, and they had lost their drummer. He moved away and didn't want to play drums anymore. But the singer Joachim got asked basically from a local club owner, "Hey, do you guys want to play here?" No, we can't at the moment. We don't have a drummer. But maybe you can take a listen to this new project we're working on. And he sent him that song, Son of Odin, like the demo version of it.
Yeah.
And the club owner basically said, yeah, sure. You can play here in 2 weeks, just for 30 minutes. But basically, can you do that? And Joachim said yes. And that's a really stupid decision, I guess, because we had one song and we can't play that for 30 minutes.
Right.
So we had to write some more songs because we wouldn't we never liked doing covers that much.
Yeah.
So we wrote 5 songs or so more in 2 weeks. And that's basically how it started.
Your basic theme is sort of Old Norse tales with obviously the metal soundtrack. Are all of you well versed, obviously, in the lore and subject matter with the names and themes and everything that you toss out? Have you all studied in that?
General knowledge, I think every one of us have. We all studied it in school, history lessons and so on. It's our heritage, so we have it from when we're 6, 7, 8, that age. So the basic knowledge I think everyone has, and then me and Ylva usually reads a lot. A lot of history books and books on the subject and study for certain songs. Like when we come up with, okay, this song should be about Hel. Okay, let's read up.
Right.
We know the basics, but then we need to read some stuff to be as correct as possible. So
right.
to say.
Now, when you're performing these songs live, I've got to ask, because I remember reading an interview with Bruce Dickinson of Maiden when Adrian Smith was writing Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. And Dickinson was quoted as saying, "How in the hell do you expect me to remember all these lyrics? You guys have a lot of lyrics, a lot of storytelling here. How do you remember the names and everything?" Tough time with the lyrics, or you just know
them? Not yet. Like, we didn't have any problems so far. Big difference is that Bruce is alone. We are three,
right?
So it's not that much, I would say. We haven't started rehearsing the title track, Embla Saga. That will be special for sure. That has way more lyrics, especially for Ylva and Jocke. Yeah, but no, not super. Like, we had some problems with some songs for sure when we started rehearsing them, but like no major issues.
Like you said, with 3, there's always somebody there to cover if somebody forgets a line or a phrase or something. So
yeah.
Your videos are just absolutely epic. You've put out 2 for this album. 1, and is it Njord?
Yes. Right.
And I love, of course, the scenery and everything, but there's also sort of a tongue-in-cheekness that goes along with this. And under the video for 1, there was one comment that said, "Greatest guitar solo ever while played standing up in a canoe."
Yeah, it's actually not a canoe. It's actually a traditional Viking boat.
Okay.
So it's actually, but they looked a lot like canoes.
Yeah.
Like, not the ships they would take, of course, overseas, but
right.
it's a traditional Viking boat. I think the inspiration for that solo was Slash solo from November Rain.
Oh, you're right.
Okay. When he's standing outside of the church.
Right.
So we said basically, let's do it like that, but on a boat.
Very good.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed under the videos is there were a number of comments, and from guys who were saying they were erect now after watching the video or hearing the song. You guys should market yourselves as an alternative to Viagra, I think, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
People of the internet are a special breed.
Yes, they are. Your music is so epic and so sweeping, and when you hear it along with those videos, I couldn't help but wonder, would you ever consider doing soundtracks to a movie if you were given the right project, or have you already?
We would for sure. Like, without a doubt, I would say, if the record label would let us. We would love that. At least, I know at least half of the band would jump at the idea. Johan, the drummer, is actually working with doing soundtracks for commercials and movies and so on. That's his day job. And I studied film for 4.5 years at the university, so we have a lot of interest in films for sure, and video games. Like, doing music for a video game would be equally cool, I would say.
Yeah, I had forgotten all about that, but yeah, some of those video games have some pretty good music in the background as well.
Yes.
Wanted to talk to you about a few of the songs on Embla Saga. I've listened to it. It's a fantastic album. The first one that jumped out at me was Chainbreaker, just a killer riff, kind of a real catchy chorus, and I love the bass drum break in it. I thought that was pretty epic. Can you tell me a little bit about Chainbreaker?
Yeah, sure. It was I who started writing the lyrics, and Ylva joined in. So basically, we already had Power Snake and Hail, and those, story-wise, they are both children of Loki, and Fenrir is the third children of Loki, or third of his kids, and we didn't have a song about him, and I thought that if we have these two, we should, it would make so much sense to make the third and combine them somehow. So this is actually the only song where we started writing the lyrics before we had a song.
Oh.
And at the time I was listening a lot to old school Judas Priest, like Turbo Lover and Painkiller, all those songs. And so super inspired by Judas Priest, and like I had that feeling like let's make it, because that song doesn't have that many like backing tracks or symphonic elements at all, so we kept it clean and rough basically, and I think it turned out very good.
That was my other note I had here, and I'm always sort of cautious about comparing, because I know some artists take it as a compliment, other artists don't, but that had a definite Priest vibe that I picked up on it. Yeah, I agree 100%. That's what I picked up on it. So
yeah, we even wrote that in like the people that bought our limited box set, we have a special like book there where we explain a bit about all the songs, and that's one of the comments there, that this is inspired by Judas Priest and their work during the 80s.
Definitely. The next track that really caught me, because it was a nice space, it was a nice breathing point, was Weaver of Fate. I thought that was really, really good.
Yeah, it was, I think, the first or the second song we wrote for this album. Ylva wrote most of the lyrics herself, and David wrote most of the guitars. So it was like, it's, how do you say, compared to other songs, it's a thin song. There's not that many elements in it. So it was quite fast to write. And yeah, it's a very good ballad, I would say. I really like the guitar sound in that one. Yeah,
great one. Now, you mentioned briefly that you guys hadn't started rehearsing the title track, Endless Saga. You're going to make it something special, and here on my note, I put title track Epic Centerpiece Live with a question mark. Is that going to be like your centerpiece when you do it live?
I don't know. I think we would like to put, like, let's say if we play 1.5 hours, we would probably at some point go off the stage in the middle of the show, and then just start that song, I think, with Ylva alone on the stage. I think that would be, it could be quite cool to do. No idea if we will play it live, but hopefully so.
Yeah. Brothers Unite, I got drum intro, brilliant, excellent track.
Yeah, I like it. We played it live on the tour. We also played Chainbreaker, by the way.
Cool.
It's a very good song for playing live.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get audience with you when we do the drum intro, and also we have the part in Swedish that apparently for some reason people enjoy very much. We just put it in as a fun little thing. And people write about it all the time, and like how much they enjoy it.
They enjoy it. The last track I had was Ride of the Valkyries, more riffing, kind of like Chainbreaker. Almost comes darn close to thrash, at one point. That's a real aggressive track.
Yeah, we try to, how do you say, like, if you would try to boil down what is Brothers of Metal, what kind of music do they play, we don't really like that. So we basically say, well, we can do anything within the realm of metal.
Sure.
So we try to be, how do you say, versatile.
Right. Yeah.
Or so, and mix it up and use inspiration from a lot of different styles of music, like, or genres of metal rather. Like is diversity the right word even? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so like if you listen to this album, you have songs like Chainbreaker and Ride of Valkyries. You have a song like Weaver of Fate that's very much a ballad. And then you have Count Us the Gus with a solo that sounds like, yeah, you should probably be riding a Cadillac in 80s Miami or so.
Right.
And then you have To the Skies and Beyond that sounds like a Disney metal track, more or less. Like, so we have all the different elements from so many different genres, and we noticed that we can do that and get away with it, because as soon as we get all of our stuff into the song, it still sounds like us.
Right.
Like, it doesn't sound like some band trying to deliver a thrash song. It sounds like Brothers of Metal when we're done with it.
Right, you're able to pull your influences together, but keep it original at the same time.
Yeah.
Excellent. I want to ask, this is your second album. Of course, a lot of people, you have like this second album curse. The whole story is, you've got your whole life to make the first album, and you make it. Then when it comes time to do the second album, did this one come easier, harder than the first one?
Like the first one, we didn't even know that we were making songs for an album. We just made songs. Like, first off, we made the songs for the gig, and then we got our own rehearsal and studio, and we continued to do those parties I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Where we write music, but instead we did it at our rehearsal studio, and started recording songs, and at some point we realized, hey, we got enough songs to record a full album, so let's do that. This time around we had a limited time frame, and we just did it. The major differences were the time frame, and we knew that people would listen this time.
Right.
That's basically but no pressure or anything. I think it went on kind of smooth. We were a bit we slacked off a bit, so we didn't have all the lyrics done when we started recording the drums, for example, but we sorted it out. Yeah. All good, I would say.
Excellent. Any more videos coming down the pipe?
We have one more coming for this album that is planned, and later on we might release some lyric videos and so on.
Okay.
And we've been talking a bit about maybe doing some unplugged version.
Right. Yep. Acoustic.
Of some songs or so. We'll see what we'll do. At the moment, we're in a process where we just started writing songs for the third album.
Wow. Okay. Any more touring plans? I mean, you guys are kind of becoming like Kiss was in the early days, where nobody wants to follow you on stage now. Headlining in the near future?
Yeah, exactly like that. We tried to get on supporting tours actually before, but we heard the weirdest, oh no, we can't take you guys because the changeover will be so long. We have, I would say we probably have the easiest changeover in the business.
Yeah.
If we have if we can put the drums on a podium outside of the stage and just roll it on,
sure,
we can do the changeover in 5 minutes without any doubt at all, super fast. But that we heard, and I never heard of these guys, we can't take them, blah 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 blah, and in reality they're just scared.
Yeah. Exactly. You're scaring them.
So we decided, let's not do that. It's either going out with a mid-sized band, or we need to go out with the kinds of bands like Sabaton, Nightwish,
sure,
maybe Powerwolf, that kind of caliber of bands. So we decided, well, that's not happening now. Let's do our own headlining tour, and that's probably how we will continue, unless we get a hold of Sabaton or Nightwish or those kind of bands, because I think we have kind of similar sound and audience as both those bands, for example.
Very cool. Talking with Mats, Tongue of the Gods from Brothers of Metal, their new album Endless Saga, out on AFM Records now. Mats, I always like to wind things up with just some fun questions. I'm hoping these are questions maybe you've never been asked before. Sound good?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home-cooked meals, what would you have her make?
Oh man, I know exactly. I just don't know how to say it in English. Cod. Is it called cod?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. So cod with egg sauce. I had that as a kid, and like I haven't asked her for it for years, but this question, perfect. I will next time I visit my mom, I will ask her to make cod with egg sauce.
All right. Given your choice of household chores, what would you rather do, dishes or the laundry?
Laundry.
All right. Would you rather be on a deserted desert island alone or with someone who never stopped talking?
Oh my God. Alone.
Alone. Okay. Earliest musical memory?
As in me playing or listening?
Either way.
Status quo, sitting on my parents' vacuum cleaner and trying to sing along in English, but I didn't know a word. Listening to some Status Quo, like one of my dad's favorite bands. So yeah, probably that.
Very nice. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you pick to have play you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anyone.
Yeah, like Philip Seymour Hoffman is dead. Otherwise, I would pick him. So I have to go with Jack Black, I think.
Very good. Last one. We're going to sort of bring this back to music. You have 8 members in this band. What does it take to be a great bandmate?
Yeah, answer the fucking emails. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's the most important thing. Yeah.
All right. But there must be a lot of patience, a lot of give and take, there's a compromise and stuff that goes along with it as well?
I think basically we're very democratic. There's no dictatorship at all. So like being 8 people can be kind of slow moving, and like when you need fast decisions from a festival, for example.
Right.
Like, okay, we need we have a deadline tomorrow. They need to know if we can do this festival or not. Then it can be quite tedious to get a hold of everyone and check their schedules and so on. But other than that, it's just benefits, I would say. Like, we have so many people to do different things, so we have one guy taking care of all the merchandise, one guy doing economics, one guy doing interviews, one guy doing the social media and so on. Like, so it's all good. We don't need any outside people to do everything we need to do.
Very cool. Keep it all in-house, as they say over here. So yeah, I get it now. When you get those short time frames, that's when it comes down to answer the fucking emails.
Yeah.
All right, Mats, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today. Once again, we've been chatting with Mats, the Tongue of the Gods from the band Brothers of Metal. They're from Sweden. New album, Endless Saga, out on AFM Records. I've heard a complete copy. It's fabulous. Go out and buy it today. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck with all the future endeavors of Brothers of Metal, Mats.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening or day where you are, I guess.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.